Yeah. So, Whole Elephant Institute's first office is actually, now thinking about it, was established in Seattle at the site called 2643 West 38th Avenue. You know, Seattle, Washington 98199. That was Dr. Wang's home. That is the house right now worth, you know, $2.7 million, right? That is the place that started the Whole Elephant Institute's first office. And the Karen Pohill was designated to be one to station over there until Dr. Wang comes home. She was given the role to safeguard that house when Dr. Wang was taking a business trip to New York. Because Dr. Wang's father was still living there. So he doesn't speak English. Dr. Wang's mother is supposed to also live there, but she was already called back by the Chinese government. And Dr. Wang was not aware of it. The father only told her that your mother has health problems. She needs to go to China, Wuxi, to get some medical help. That's total lie. Because I know that Dr. Wang's mother would never leave the father for medical care because she's weak and all the medical things always taken care of by the father. So it was a very strange situation that Dr. Wang's mother suddenly left the father and returned to China. It was definitely because the Chinese Communist government demanded her to go back to China to report to them what is going on with Seattle. So both of them, eventually I investigated, both of Dr. Wang's parents were sent by the 610 office of Wuxi City. The 610 office is the headquarter office of the Jiang Zemin for specially persecuting Falun Gong. So both of them were recruited by the 610 office in Wuxi City, which is headed by a man called Zhou Yongkang, which is the chief persecutor against Falun Gong. So Dr. Wang's mother and father both worked for the military factory who makes military ships for the Chinese government. Both of them, you know, they work on the engineering part. So they were dedicated Communist Party members. And they made a vow to give their life to communism. So when the Chinese government lied to them saying that your daughter is now being bought by the American government and is going against China, and you two need to go to America and try to change her mind and then take her back to China. That's the order. So Dr. Wang's mother and father followed the Chinese government's order and to become a CCP agent and under the name of love and instructed Dr. Wang to be a filial daughter, try to totally control Dr. Wang and make Dr. Wang leave Falun Gong practice and return to Communist China to serve CCP. That was the mission of the parents, you see?
I understand.
So when Dr. Wang leaves Seattle home, and the father immediately called Dr. Wang's brother, Dr. Jian Xinbao. And the father said, this is what Jian Xing told me many years ago. I recorded his conversation, this conversation. I have evidence, proof that Jian Xinbao says, Dr. Wang's father suddenly called him, and he, at the time, works in the Washington University in St. Louis, Missouri. So he had nothing to do with this case to begin with. But Dr. Wang's father called him, says, your sister just left Seattle for New York to give all her money to Falun Gong. The reality is that Dr. Wang left Seattle upon an urgent call from a Falun Dafa practitioner's fiancée, who, basically her name is Yongqing. Yongqing called Dr. Wang saying, Dr. Charles Lee, who also worked at Mass General Hospital, Harvard Medical School, he went to China to visit his mother. And the moment he stepped out from the airplane in Guangzhou airport, he was immediately arrested by the Chinese government and jailed and tortured and about to die in jail. So Yongqing's call basically to Dr. Wang is that, please rescue Charles Lee. You are from Harvard. Now, I need to rescue Charles Lee, Dr. Charles Lee. Can you quickly come to meet with me in New York and then accompany me to go to Harvard and to meet with Harvard president and call upon a press conference and then reach out to American government to rescue Charles Lee, right? So you think Dr. Wang will say no? Of course. Dr. Wang immediately bought a ticket, one-way ticket, $800. Last day of 2004, rushed to New York for the business trip with 2 suitcases. One suitcase Fallen books, the other suitcase, one winter coat, one little small quilt, several pieces of underwears and clothes. That's it. That's what Dr. Wang brought with her for the New York trip. On the last day of 2004, arrived in New York, Times Square, the first day of 2005. Okay? So there's absolutely nothing about Dr. Wang giving money to Falun Gong. She didn't bring any money with her. Okay? She brought her credit cards, maybe a little cash, very little, right? And then she brought 2 checks with her, which were the 2 last checks from Benaroya Research Institute, which was closing her lab. So the last 2 checks, each check is probably close to $10,000. So Dr. Wang, with 2 checks, about $20,000, planning to deposit into the bank and have access to it. That's it, okay?
Yeah.
We can go. They're slowing down, yeah. So Dr. Wang's father called Dr. Jian Xinbao to rush to Seattle, claiming that your sister now is crazy enough to give all her money to Falun Gong. And what happened after that needs to be investigated, because I don't know exactly what happened. How come Dr. Jian Xinbao started the legal case against Dr. Wang, claiming her to be mentally ill. And then he pretended he wanted to get married. And then he got a wedding banquet and very quickly get married. And lured Dr. Wang into his wedding banquet and placed his friend, Dr. Amelia Galetano Mando, who was a young researcher, not a doctor, for seeing patients of mental illness. She was just doing research on the fruit flies, which means, flies that grow out from fruit. And so she is not capable of evaluating anybody. Also, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, if they evaluate any patient, they need to get the patient's consent, right? So it was on the wedding banquet, sitting next to Dr. Wang, chatting about life. And then after that, she pretended that she was Dr. Wang's psychiatrist, presented a fake medical diagnosis to the court, stating that Dr. Wang is suffering from bipolar mental disease, and that she has no ability to control her finance, and asked the court to give all financial rights to Dr. Jian Xinbao. That's why Dr. Wang suddenly realized that all her bank accounts were shut down in New York. No money in the bank account. And then Jian Xinbao is listed as her legal guardian, which has total rights to force her into mental hospital to be treated.
Yeah, without the mental health at the time, the doctor do not have the doctor checking the examination.
Nothing.
Yeah. How they believe without.
That's exactly it. I cannot understand how the Seattle court can allow a fake medical diagnosis to enter into the system and don't call Dr. Wang to the court to be evaluated. Before any decision to be made, they have to see the real person, correct? They never saw Dr. Wang.
Yeah.
And they already made the judgment against Dr. Wang, and they allowed Jian Xinbao to take over all financial matters and allowed Jian Xinbao to shut down the bank account and forced Dr. Wang into homeless situation.
Yeah, I think
That is illegal too. Even the Seattle court system has great legal responsibilities for this case, correct? I think so. So basically, it's corruption from all different levels add up together. So then what happened was that, Dr. Wang could not have access to any money and was homeless. And then when Dr. Wang come to Flushing, and the lies also comes to Flushing, tell the Falun Dafa practitioners that Dr. Wang, the reason, lost the job, lost her rights as a mother, lost her marriage, everything is due to her having immoral relationship with a black man. That she was immoral, she had a lust and desire, she was sleeping around with other men. That was the lie that came into Flushing when Dr. Wang came to Flushing. So that's why the Falun Dafa practitioners, nobody want to support her. Because Dr. Wang's mother spread the lies to everybody in Seattle that her daughter, Dr. Wang, no longer practices Falun Gong, and no one shall contact her. And she's mentally ill, and she also has behavioral problems with men. Okay? So Dr. Wang's mother or some other people likes to spread gossips and added a certain spice into the story and got all spread among the Falun Dafa practitioners community. And then came all the way to New York and totally intended to isolate Dr. Wang from the only group of people who could support her, right? Only group, So Dr. Wang had no support.